Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to Does It Get Better? Your weekly source for positive emotional support. Is that
Yep.
is that it?
And we're live.
Oh, you're listening to that over there. You might mute that.
Wow, I'm like super blurry.
Yeah.
The webcam's whack. My connection sucks right now. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Does It Get Better? I am host 2 of 2, Neil Rubenstein.
I am host one of two, Rich Gaccioni.
Uh, this is the mental health podcast. With a positive spin. Huh? Today's topic. Today's topic is self-care. / me time.
Mm-hmm.
Rich picked the topic, so I'm gonna defer to him as I usually do. What's your feeling on it?
Well, first and foremost, it was crazy that I had gone however many years I had gone without knowing that like self-care was a thing. Like I went through most of my adult life just doing what I thought was the right thing, like kind of like, helping people who needed help, doing things, overworking myself, overstretching myself, just like kind of like being everywhere at all times if I needed to be. And then if I had any downtime, it was mostly just kind of like sleep or rest or like not do anything. And then I'd say within the last 5 or 6 years, going back more so like 5 or 6 years, I started hearing the term self-care like being thrown around a little bit more. And I think with like social media and a lot more like openness and talking about mental health and stuff within the last 5 or 6 years, that terminology has kind of been more prominent. And I didn't know, like, I still was like, oh, self-care. It sounds like something
Goofy shit like
yeah.
like what?
Am I going to go meditate and like light some incense? No, like that's
I gotta get a manicure. Treat yourself Saturday.
right. Exactly. And I was like, what is that? No, it's probably not for me. I said, literally thought it wasn't for me. Like I was like, oh, even to a point where we talk about like the male aspect of taking care of one's mental health. And I thought it was like a girl thing, like just to be straight up. Like I thought it was just like, oh, that's what women do. That's like a feminine thing. It's like yeah, like you said, have a manicure. Guys get manicures, but it was like, to me, it wasn't like a thing that dudes do. And I didn't even know what it was too, so I was completely ignorant to the fact. And then it's just like kept doing my thing, kept like working a lot, putting my mental energy in different places. And then finally, it was like within the last 2 years or so, I understood more of what self-care means. And now I don't use it in the way that it's like, I don't use it in a way to avoid things. It's not like, oh, I have to do this important thing, but I've been really overwhelmed this week, so this is going to be a self-care day. It's not like an avoidance thing. You know what I mean? I think it can be kind of construed like a little bit like a procrastination or something. But I
just can't even.
I just can't.
For a little self-care.
It's
just like 4 margaritas and on the border. And you're just like
self-care Sunday. So I finally like learned, like I've read up a little bit. I mean, it sounds really stupid in saying it out loud that I had to actually learn what self-care was, but that's just how it speaks to how like I was programmed or how I lived my life or what I was just used to doing.
Yo, dude, the fucking toxicity. Like, I've been thinking a lot about this lately. Like, the toxicity of being like just a guy in America is brutal.
Mm-hmm.
And then like layer it on top with like all the like sub universes we're in.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, I want to talk about this more in depth later because it's definitely been on my mind. Like, I don't want to like cut you off and railroad you,
Yeah,
but
fine.
like, just like what you're saying, I'm just like, I've just been thinking about this so much lately. Just the like, oh, it's just like people just instill these like stupid fucking ideas in your head. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's I mean, that is part of it. That's like from being, under the assumption that my whole life should be about, or one's whole life should be about like working hard, working extra, going the extra mile, sucking it up, walk it off, don't cry, all of that stuff that we've mentioned and touch on and stuff. And then like, when did we get a chance, or when did we get a chance? When did I ever get a chance to like have some me time? Like we talk about like me time. I'm just gonna, and like, I think I differentiated the two before I even knew what like self-care was and like me time. Like me time, you joke about it like, oh, you know what? I'm not gonna do anything today. It's a little bit of me time. I'm gonna go to the mall and buy something, and that's like a form of self-care, is just kind of like
Treat yourself.
having, a treat yourself moment, right? Go buy something that you wanted,
Which is another thing, like about like, I mean, this is going back to like a few episodes ago, where like they like, oh, you're not allowed to get Starbucks because you're on unemployment, and it's like, no. Like, listen, I just need like this $5 treat.
Mm-hmm.
Like get through the day without murdering someone in your post office. Like it's just
like,
okay.
like just let people have what they need for that moment to make, if that's going to make somebody's day, then just like, don't judge people, don't make all these assumptions
Without them feeling awful about it.
Yeah. Like it's funny that you say like that reference of like buying something, you're on unemployment, but you want to buy something that's deemed like extravagant or like excess or whatever. It's like, yo, you don't know anything about me or my situation, and you know what? You don't need to. I just like, don't make me feel bad about feeling better. You know what I mean? Don't make me feel bad about feeling better. And that's kind of like, that's like the whole thing, man. Don't make me feel bad about feeling better. If I want to take a day and self-care, which means to me, like now that I learned, sort of getting back to like learning what it was and just like being like, oh, it's actually it's a literal thing. You take care of yourself. And that's one of the things that like I didn't really do for such a long time because I didn't know how. I didn't know we were allowed to, I didn't know I was allowed to say, hey, you know what? Can't do that today because I don't want to. And I'm just going to do my thing.
Because I don't want. I could make up an excuse, but we're not doing it.
Like today, today I'm just going to do some stuff for myself. I'm going to go buy that guitar I've been putting off buying for the past 2 years because I'm afraid to spend $600. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, that's where I'm still at. Like, I want a new guitar. Haven't gotten my other stimulus check, and I don't think I'm ever going to get it. And I didn't get the one beforehand. So I'm never going to buy the guitar unless I have that extra money. You know what I mean? But that's just one example as to how, like, I finally realized that, and it doesn't have to be an extravagant thing like buying a $600 guitar. It could just be like, yo, instead of putting my mental energy into this one thing that I know I can do tomorrow, I'm going to take care of myself today. I'm going to sit in the back. I'm going to feed the birds. I'm going to plant some flowers. Maybe I'll go to the grocery store because I need to go grocery shopping, and have just a mentally absent day from the things that, that weigh you down a little bit. Because I'm really good at like not being absent from those things. Like every single day I need to worry about all the things you need to worry about until they're done. You know what I mean? So self-care can be physical, it can be mental, it can be both. And it doesn't have to be this like extravagant, spending money. It doesn't, I don't have to spend any money, but you need, within the last year, realizing that you need time and you have to realize that you're allowed to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to take care of myself today. Because for so many years of our lives where I mean, this is, speaking for me and you, I'm sure, just like we're so used to like saying yes and not wanting to disappoint people and wanting to go the extra mile or go the extra 10 miles because we want like people to see that we're worthy of this thing that we're striving to be or whatever. And we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So
what about the things we do to like fit in? Like, I've been thinking about this so much lately because,
dude, it's crazy. Yeah.
I talked about it earlier in like a funny way with Tony and Sally on their show, but like, I'm gonna be like serious about it right now. Like, I've been experimenting with drugs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not like I'm gonna do blow and whatever. Like I'm gonna try meth. I'm not like that. But I've not been able to sleep in months, and I've been a manic depressive my whole life. And like when I was young, they called it like emotionally disturbed or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And like because of straight edge, because of this like because a group of 14-year-olds in the 80s were like, oh yeah, we're not gonna drink.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna take pills that are gonna make me bearable. Like I was a complete nightmare to be around my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, oh, I shouldn't. I'm not corrupting my body with the and like I wouldn't take real strong pain pills. So I would just like suffer through things.
Right.
And like I haven't slept in months and I'm laying in bed and I can't sleep and I'm in excruciating pain. And it's like, you know what? I'm taking something. And so then like I spoke to someone and they gave me a bunch of different like options.
Yeah.
Like sleep aids, like Ativan and oxycodone and Tylenol with codeine. And then someone else gave me like weed gummies and someone else gave me melatonin. And so I've been trying all these things.
You were just like doing like a handful, like a candy jar. You just put your hand in and just take a whole bunch of shit.
Well, one night I got silly and I did like a bunch of CBD with melatonin and then also took some Vicodins.
Jesus.
But nothing works. Nothing works. Literally nothing works.
Yeah.
One night I had like a pretty good sleep from codeine, and one night I had a pretty good sleep from a weed gummy.
Mm-hmm.
But last night I took a weed gummy and it didn't help.
Yep.
And
it didn't help. People rave about it.
The first night I tried it,
like
maybe it was like last Thursday or Wednesday. It worked great, but I tried it again last night and it didn't do shit.
Were you really worked up last night? Was your like level of like anxiety or whatever peaked?
So my anxiety's been off the charts because I leave tomorrow.
Yep.
My anxiety's been off the charts, but it should still do something.
Yeah, that's true.
So I just burn through it. Like nothing helps. I will say that, and I make a joke about it, but it's dead. I'm dead serious. The Oxy doesn't help me sleep, but I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it makes you feel great. I totally get why people do it and get addicted to it.
Yeah.
Like I fortunately only had a few pills, so it was like, well, I guess I'm gonna take the rest of these today. And then I was done,
Yeah.
But like, if someone brings me a bottle to a show,
I ain't saying no.
I ain't not taking them. But it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, if a fucking whatever the thing is, Adderall or Ritalin or whatever the hell, is gonna like make me bearable. Like, why did I fight that?
Yeah.
And I think that works under like the self-care thing. Like,
Of
fucking
course it
take care
does.
of
Of
yourself,
course
man.
it
Like,
does. Yeah.
just the toxicity of like, I wanted to fit in with these group of people that I don't fucking know these guys. Oh, we have a lifelong bond. I don't have a fucking lifelong bond with any of them. I still only talk to the 4 guys I talked to from back then. You know, like,
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a different mindset. You're a kid. You're a kid. You're a teenager then. You know, obviously, and like things. You grow up and you see things differently. And yeah, you might have been miserable for most of your teenage 20s and 30s and early 40s, but now
28.
now you're tolerable. But no, I mean it's it's different. It's a different mindset, man. I see where you're coming from too, and it's definitely a self-care thing. Like I'm glad you see the value in it, because we're at a point where we're not getting any younger, and you don't want to waste any more. I don't want to say waste. I don't want to lose any more years of like hemming and hawing about not taking a prescription drug because it's, because Ian MacKaye said so. Like, come on, we're past that. Let's feel better.
Dude, I wouldn't take pain medication,
Yeah,
man.
that's wild. Did you like break I have a picture of you with a broken wrist.
I had a broken jaw.
You had a broken jaw. That's right. That too.
Take pain medicine.
Oh my God.
No, I wouldn't let him put me out for the thing.
Oh man.
Hey, what an idiot.
What an idiot. But you're I'm glad that you're taking steps to try to help that. I got on my medication. I still take my medication at nighttime to help me sleep, and it's good. It's like it's not an addictive substance. It's just like it helps those like crazy thoughts that happen during the evening time. It helps ease that like anxiety and those like, those racing thoughts and stuff. And there's no shame. I'm completely open with the fact that like, I will tell people I take things to help me exist in a positive fashion, or in a or just like in a way that like I'm not waking up every day like a mess, because I can actually sleep and like everything is like okay.
I wish I could sleep, man.
Yeah.
I had like one good night of sleep last week. I had one good night of sleep last week, and I was manic for like 4 days after it, because like I was refreshed.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, "Whoa, let's go do something. Let's hang out. Let's go have fun. Let's go." Like I was on 12 the whole time, and then like I kind of crashed on like Sunday. I guess it was last Sunday. I kind of like started to crash a little. I don't remember how I was on the pod last week, but then this whole week I couldn't sleep at all.
I remember you mentioning, yeah, you were coming off of a manic bender.
Yeah, it was bad or great. It was great.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So aside from allowing yourself prescription help with or experimenting with prescription health, what do you see are things that you do that are like actual specific self-care steps that you do, if you do anything? I mean, I don't know. I don't know because
I don't know. I mean, once every few months, I'll go get my beard trimmed.
All right.
Like I like having a professional do it. I go to this woman, J. Lee Blades. It's awesome.
That's awesome. Yep.
And she just, it's like it's like this place called Hair Magicians on in Wantagh, and it's like it's right next to Da Vinci Tattoo.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like they're like it's all like, people who get like extensions and like they like do designs in the back of people's hair, and they like, like super like
those
like
fades and like the very sharp fades and stuff, like
yeah, and like it's just nice to like have someone spend half hour just like making sure my beard looks good,
Yeah,
you
man.
know, and like,
That's awesome.
you know, shaving the sides of my head and like making sure the line's good and
Hmm.
like, you know, and it just feels good to like, you know, be ha- pampered, you
Yeah,
know,
of
just someone
course.
paying
That's it.
attention.
Yeah. I was
And
hoping that you were gonna say that you go to like an old Italian guy and he puts you in the chair with the
yeah,
apron and he does that the whisk
the
with the
straight razor.
yeah.
When I used to shave, I would get this. I like that the
Yeah.
straight razor, but this woman
That's
doesn't.
cool.
I
That's
don't
cool.
need to do that. And then I'd say like once a year I'll get like my eyebrows done.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
like a nice. But that's like, I mean, I don't know. That's not self care. That's just like,
No, that
you know,
definitely
like
is.
a
That definitely
spa
is.
day. You know?
I mean, it's taking care of a physical appearance and it's also like a mental thing. Like you feel better after you do it and you're like, "Oh, this time literally exists for me." You know,
Yeah,
this is like I get to go here, I'm here. She's going to take care of I'm going to look good when I'm done and I feel
yeah.
good afterwards.
You feel good. You know, like you feel good after that stuff. You're
Yeah.
like, ah, I can face the world. I don't feel like a schlub. You know, like
Mhm. Mhm.
I don't know. And she's so funny too because she's like, because like I have like growth up here. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And she was like, "Do you want me to like make a line?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm not gonna shave." And she's like, "All right." Like she leaves it and she just like does like this. I'm like, I'm not gonna do any maintenance. However you leave me is how the world
Yeah.
gets. I don't know. That's probably it. Like as far as that stuff goes, but I do like I do other things because I look at like certain comedy related things as just like, well, it's just for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I went to see Big J perform. That's not a, you know what I mean? I'm not working. I'm not
Right.
trying to get stage time. I'm not showing face. I'm not doing a hang. I just like went to go enjoy a comedian I enjoy watching work,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So it's like, did that. Oh, I went to see Mark Norman too last week or 2 weeks ago. Just like, just go see comics that I enjoy seeing and the same way, you know, if I watch a baseball game or whatever.
Right,
Just
right. You're doing
not,
something for yourself that you're going to enjoy.
yeah, not here to work. I'm here to relax and have some fun.
Awesome.
Take some oxy.
Oh man. That's good, man. That's like I'm sure with the new as I hate this term, but it works. The new normal that we're
Yeah.
all going to experience. I anticipate a lot of like excuse me, a lot of the things that we haven't been able to do for the last over a year are going to feel like self-care or like me time things. Like
Like going to see a band. Or,
exactly, that's what I was getting at. Yeah, like there's like Madball is playing up here in a week or two or something like that, and it's like
park,
what's that?
in a park.
It's like an outside area of a club down here. They have like a courtyard kind of thing. But it's like at first I was like, I'm not going to that. That's ridiculous. I'm not gonna go see Madball with a socially distanced. And then I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, yo, why don't you just go see Madball?
Go see Madball.
Like you're vaccinated, you wear a mask, you're not an idiot. Most of your friends are gonna be there. Go do it. And I'm like, more and more, just like maybe I'm just gonna go see Madball and like and enjoy myself and see some live music. You know what I mean? Like,
That's gonna feel great, dude. You saw the ads for Furnace Fest?
yeah, yep,
Yo, if this was literally any other year, I'd be like, that's cool stuff. But like, I saw the flyer and I was like, yo, I'm going.
I'm going. Yeah, we're
I'm
there.
going. Like, not, I might go,
Yeah.
not, but I'm going.
Yeah.
Like, immediately got like in a text group with like a bunch of dudes, like, oh, you guys want to go to? And like, yeah, we're all going. Okay, we're going. Like, we're going.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, no joke, any other year would have been like, yeah.
No, definitely. That's like it's a new way of thinking, and it's like, yeah, it'll probably get out of our systems real quick after you go, go through it a couple times.
So we did New York Comedy Club opened, and we were there the other night, like doing it's limited capacity, so it's like 8 tables, 9 tables
Mm-hmm.
only. And it was great. And we walked out, and the manager Ozzy was like, "Oh, like how's it feel?" And it's like, "Oh man, it feels so good." And like me and the other one of the other comics, like, it just feels so good just to be on that stage, like whatever. And then it's like, 2 weeks from now, I'm gonna be like, I'm not driving to the city to perform to 18 people. It's not worth it.
It's so
But
true.
like that first
Yeah.
taste, it was like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
So good when it hits your lips.
It might be an opportunity. I know this is probably like wishful thinking, but it's an opportunity for us to like appreciate these things more. And I'm sure that's like a way people will think like, oh, like the old like you didn't know what you had till it was gone, kind of thing. And then it's like, oh well, it's back. Live music, shows, socializing, organizing things, like maybe, and I'm, of course, I'm the positive one here, so I'm the one that's like,
Like,
you're already just like, nope, okay, dude. But like, just maybe,
what pills are you taking? What you taking?
it's like maybe these things, when they start happening again, you can ride that wave of just like, wow, this is great. I missed this thing, and it's like, how can we maintain the positivity and the excitement of it, as long as possible? Because I know exactly what you said about that. The second show I go to, I know I'll go to it and be like, I'm gonna go home. I don't want to be here.
Yeah. Like by the time you say hello to the last person,
I'm like ready to go. Yeah.
Oh, Rich, Tom, Mike, Poodle. See you guys later.
Oh man, but it's kind of neat seeing these things starting to happen though. Like I feel like I blinked my eyes, and now I'm seeing more documentation of like. I think Dubin was at a rooftop show or something. Somebody performing music.
Yeah, Kenny, Starting Line, Vacationer.
Mm-hmm.
He did a rooftop show in Montclair.
Okay. That's who that was. Okay.
Newfound Glory did an acoustic show in Nashville.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
It's starting small, and it's starting different, which is really cool. It's not just like, all right, get your band up on stage and cram into a club. And it's like people are like being resourceful and safe and unique with these like trying to get back to normal. And I think it's really cool. And I think it's like
cool.
Go ahead.
Oh, no.
It's something that might actually change the way we do these kind of things. You know what I mean? Like the rooftop shows and the acoustic shows, like those things wouldn't happen before because we had clubs and venues and whatever, right? But like every once in a while, it might be cool to like see a band in a different setting, like, oh, we're going to do, the singer songwriter dude's going to just do a solo thing. And then the next night, the band will play a club or whatever. It's just like these little things that are getting people to come out and socialize and like appreciate what we've been missing.
Yeah. I mean, comedy's kind of been doing that the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys have been doing like rogue shows and all that. Yeah.
And then like a bunch of like comedy specials came out this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like Nate Bargatze did an outdoor special, and Brian Regan did an outdoor special. I mean, I don't know.
It's just up to people to do it. Like I think the resources and stuff is just like getting the right setup, getting the right approvals, getting the right like, okay, we're only going to meet this many people. It's got to be really hard to actually organize these kind of things because you don't want to fuck it up and be the place that fucked it up, and like be like, well, they did it wrong, and then the powers that be see like, oh well, that place did it wrong, so we're not going to do it, and if we do it, we're going to do it half the way they did. You know what I mean? Like it's a weird domino effect, I think, right now. If like one place messes up, it like could definitely mess it up for all of us. But man, I think it's just
we're on the road. I think we're on the way back.
Yeah, it's a good way to it's like looking forward. It's like, oh cool, my bands can start playing out again. Like we've been practicing for probably a good like Darklands we stopped practicing for a couple months and then got back to it. And we practice every Monday. We practice. Sam, the singer and guitar player, he's the main songwriter, and he's wrote a few songs that we've gotten together. We're like at a point where we're talking about recording, like an EP at least. But with that, we're like, wow, if we're gonna, why don't we play? So that whole like buzz is back to like, oh wow, we could actually play somewhere. And then my new band Edict, we're recording our demo in May, and then we're like writing 4 or 5 songs total at this point. And then by the time that rolls around, who knows if we're gonna like, hey, jump on a show. Hey, here's your first show. That would be wild to be like a COVID like incubation band. You know what I mean? Like a quarantine band. Yeah. And then like a first show is like after everything's, like the first show back when everything's back. It's going to be a really unique experience, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, no, that's super cool. And you guys should do like your backyard.
Oh my God, I could do it in my backyard. That's true. That's right. I own a house and I'm allowed to do stuff in it.
Home with a yard.
That's true.
Probably the noise thing is till like 10 p.m. You're probably allowed to have 20 people.
Yeah.
What
a good idea.
You guys and Drop Dead and
do Drop Dead in my backyard.
I'll have to come up.
Yeah, I'm just like as much time as everybody has had, like aside from those who were working throughout the pandemic and the heat of everything, I think a lot of people, or some people can see that like those who were on unemployment and got laid off are kind of quick to see like, oh, well, you guys, you have all the time in the world. You had plenty of time. You had plenty of self-care time. And that's not, for me anyway, it's not how it's been. You know what I mean? I think there's a misconception on how to understand what people were going through when all of this stuff was at the height of its like worst point. Like I wasn't working. I was trapped inside. I was going through a lot of mental instabilities. I was going through a lot of uncertainties, and then went through it all and then had to fix it. So none of that time, none of this last year worth of time hasn't been a vacation. And I think fixing where I was at, and a lot of people like working through the hardest parts of their recent lives of just this like isolation and uncertainty and just like depression, anxiety, everything, working through it and getting to a better point in their lives, taking the self-care and taking the me time to heart is like really important nowadays. And it's really something that like you should allow yourself, and you are allowed to do. Like, with it, when you have a job and you have like sick days and you have personal days or whatever, I never, ever used a personal day. Even if I was having like the worst day ever, I thought like taking a personal day was just like the worst, like it's just like, oh, I'm allowed to have it. I'm given, it's a benefit. I'm allowed to take it. But I'm like, no, you know what? I'll just go into work completely miserable because I'm having a really miserable week. I'm just going to go into work and then I'm going to have the worst day at work, and it's just going to carry over. And I never learned how to just say, hey, listen, take a day, relax, do something that makes you happy, and then ride that into the next day and the next few days. And if it happens again, you'll know how to address it. And I learned over the last year on how to pump the brakes if I'm feeling like I need some time for myself and I need some me time. I don't even have to tell. I have nobody to answer to here. You know what I mean? I just got me and the dog and the cat. You know what I mean? I have no, I don't have to be like, so-and-so, I'm not really feeling great. I'm just going to don't have to do that. So it's easy for me to be like, I'm just going to put my phone on the charger in my bedroom. I'm going to lay on the couch for a couple hours and not look at my text messages and not communicate with anybody. And that's my self-care. That's my like disconnecting. And it's like relaxing, watching fucking YouTube videos of Magic the Gathering. Like that's self-care for me. Like that's like, it's entertainment. It clears my mind. It gets me into a point where I think about stuff because I enjoy playing Magic. That's one of the things I enjoy doing. So knowing that you can have these moments and they don't have to be, like I keep saying, they don't have to be like, go spend a lot of money, go somewhere. They don't have to be a vacation. They don't have to be this extravagant thing. All it needs to be is like an hour to yourself. And sometimes that's all you need. Like for me on Mondays, like right after this, I do my workout with Holly, my trainer, over Zoom. That's definitely like a bigger self-care thing. Like exercise obviously is a self-care thing. And connecting with Holly was another step for me, like reaching out to an old friend who we hadn't talked for quite a while, but she brought me to a great place when I was working out in California. That was a self-care thing. That was like a proud of myself, making accomplishments, like being in this place in weightlifting that I never thought I would get to. And she helped me there. And then we lost contact, whatever, the last few years. And then I was like, really reach out. I'm going to buy some weights. I'm going to do it again. This was a self-care step. And now every Monday we connect, we connect as friends, and then we connect as like a trainer and trainee kind of relationship. And it's like, it sets my week in such a great tone. Like when I'm done working out, I'm like, oh, I did it. It's like our workouts are intense, and I get like really beat up, and it's great, and it's exactly how I want to feel. And I'm thankful for it. And I'm like, I can, come up from the basement when it was where I work out and take a shower. And I'm like, oh, and I feel great. And then for the rest of the night, like I can I make some of my seitan, I make some bread. I got a couple orders. You know what I mean? It's like, it all flows. It all flows. And it's, I highly encourage people to look into, any form of exercise that might interest them. I never thought I would want to like be a power lifter, and that's what I fell into, which is completely wild because I never even knew what like powerlifting was up until I met Holly. But it gives me a sense of accomplishment, and it also is just a good thing physically to put my body to the test and like, keep it strong and keep it going. So that's my self-care stuff. That's what I enjoy doing. Laying on the couch watching Magic videos and lifting heavy weights. That's what I do.
Yeah, man. People don't give that the credit it deserves, too. Like the vegging out on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is an important part of it. Like I need to unwind, or I need to sit with someone I care about, or I need to watch a show and get like escapist activity.
Yeah, yeah.
People don't really give that the weight it deserves.
Yeah, I think a lot of there's this old way of thinking that like sitting and watching TV is a lazy behavior. Now, yeah, it's a lazy behavior if that's all you do all the time, right? But if you have a day of things, or if you have a routine of things, and the way you're able to get yourself to continue to do these things over and over again is by vegging out on the couch for an hour, watching your show, that's fine. You know what I mean? It's not, there's nothing wrong with it. You like, going back to like my grandparents, like, you watch too much TV, you're going to hurt your eyes. Like, go outside, go play. Like, all right, I get what the point was, but it's just like from a young age, I remember just like, like, oh, can't watch too much TV. Like, can't watch too much TV. All right, it's like, because it's like the TV's bad. But I mean, like, anything is bad with too much.
Of what we thought was.
Jesus, sorry.
It's all right. Anything is bad with without moderation, right? So,
yeah,
that's even though I do go to sleep with the TV on and wake up with it on every night, but that's just just how I fall asleep. That's just my thing. That's apparently that's like a sign of ADHD or something. I was doing some reading, and it's a behavior of going to sleep with the television on and leaving it on throughout your sleep cycle, and it's not a positive thing to be doing, but it's the only way I can fall asleep every night.
Right. We don't have a TV in the bedroom.
You don't have a TV in the bedroom? Oh man. I don't know what it would be like if I like if I didn't have a TV in the bedroom and if I put my phone down and like didn't touch it. I would legit like probably my internal, my brain would probably be so loud that I wouldn't be able to sleep. Well, I think that's what it is. It's like I need like background noise or like a distraction from like the actual like internal workings that are happening in there.
I had, when I was incapacitated, I was listening to like a lot of death metal, like in like ear, like
Yeah.
I would
Yep.
wear headphones and go to sleep. Because it like I don't know, yeah, same thing. It like just quieted down the
Yeah.
rest of the things happening in my brain.
Stupid brains.
Man, my brain is so stupid. My brain is some kind of asshole.
It is, right? It's like in charge. It's in charge of doing two things. It's in charge of making things really difficult, and it's also in charge of making those difficult things not difficult. Like it's like the most contradictory thing in existence, because it creates these situations in your head, but it also is needed. You need your brain to stop those things that are in your head. It's like, what? God, brain, why you got to be so difficult?
Yeah, it's weird because like I think we talked about this like the first couple of episodes. Like it both makes mountains out of molehills, and then also is like, well, look, take a deep breath.
Yeah, it's like it's the most schizophrenic, like multiple personality.
It's like you're probably gonna die from this, or it's nothing.
So relax. Wait, well, which one is it? Man.
Live every day like it's your last, but don't take any risks.
You're gonna be doing some
Risk taking.
where are you going?
I was going over there.
You going in my closet over there?
You have a closet?
Yeah. You're going on the road.
Going on the road. Mania's kicking in because I'm exhausted.
I feel like your self-care is gonna get kicked into high gear by being able to go on the road and do all these things, right? Or is it like, does that work for you in that respect? Like, working makes you feel better, right? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you know what? Too. Let me just touch on that really quick. Like work. I think I might like come across as like self-care needs to be this like detached behavior from like life, and there just has to be this like thing that's like, I need an escape or whatever. Calgon, take me away. But it could be work, like for yourself, like your work, you enjoy your work and that makes you feel better. Some people might just need to put their energy into like, you know what? I'm going to work overtime today, and that's going to make me feel better because when I get home, I'll feel accomplished, whatever. You know, it's different for everybody. And the point of self-care is to like alleviate some of that stress and that anxiety and stuff. Okay. That's like at its base. What I've learned is its base is to try to like get you away from the things that stress you out. But that doesn't mean everybody's the same. Just like with medicines and stuff, not everybody reacts to the same things in certain ways. So like you're saying with work, like I think that's pretty cool that like your self-care can actually be the thing that like brings home your paycheck and like you do for a living. It's like some people are missing that right now, and it's cool that you're able to do that and get out there.
I love touring. I love being on the road. I love that aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
So like getting like, I would love to get paid to be on the road. That would be great, right? But to be able to get paid to be on the road and it's me,
Yeah.
like I'm the thing that we're all servicing.
Mm-hmm.
that like to like it's a I'm living a dream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
sure, I'd love to be famous also, and this life would be easier. You know what I mean? I'd love to be like a worth 150 tickets in every city that I go to. And maybe one day, hopefully.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, like, I'm still getting to do this. I mean, for as long as it lasts, I'm gonna go.
Just keep doing it, right? Yeah. That's good though. That's a good place to be.
I'm excited. I can't wait.
I'm excited for you. And with that being said, that there might be a lapse of episodes in the coming weeks. We'll figure that out as it comes up. But for those who are listening on
For the 32 people that listen.
Hey, for anybody who is listening and really looks forward to hearing us talk about our feelings, we might miss a show or something, but we might actually have some guests. So stay tuned for that, and we'll figure that out as it comes up. But
we'll figure it out.
Figure it out.
Yeah. Rich, thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You really got me out of a quite a pickle.
Oh, really?
I was in a real pickle.
Oh, I'm glad I unpickled you.
I was in a pickle jar. And you opened that jar and let out
A big pickle.
the pickle juice of my life.
I'm glad.
My life's pickle juice.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, never mind. You're gonna be
What?
away. And this is all stuff that we don't have to talk about on the podcast. I was just gonna ask if you were if you were home.
No one got this far.
If you were home.
Oh yeah, you said you're gonna be here when I'm away.
Right, that's right. Yeah, my sister's getting married the weekend of the 15th, and you're away. So
Kim,
yeah,
happy marriage.
happy marriage.
I hope it lasts. I hope your love lasts as long as the earth is narrow, or whatever
Whatever the fuck they say.
fucking whatever they say. Yeah. All right.
All right, man. Well, self-care yourself. Have some me time. Keep me updated.
Okay. Yeah, we were saying right before the pandemic, we were like, mark yourself safe on Facebook. Mark yourself safe. Yeah. So let's do some self-care.
Yeah. Everybody take a minute to just fucking care about yourself for a couple minutes today. Tomorrow.
Care about yourself, bro.
And
hey, why don't you care about yourself?
Hey, listen, why don't you go care about yourself, all right?
Why don't you don't gotta care, you gotta care about yourself.
Care about me, care about you, all right?
Well, I don't see anybody else around, so you must be caring about me. That's so stupid. All right, no one listens. All right.
All right.
Love it.